And we come to our finale of the show with The Ren and Stimpy Show. This one aired on August 11th, 1991 on Nickelodeon. It was originally created by Canadian animator John Kricfalusi and ran from 1991 to 1996. The two main characters, like the title says, were Ren Hoek, an Asthma Hound Chihuahua, and his best friend Stimson J. Cat, or Stimpy, who was a red cat with a giant blue nose. The plot of the story was not really linear like most of the cartoons we cover tonight, and actually was about these two best friends coming to terms with their relationships through zany antics and just all sorts of crazy and weird things.
Yeah, and this helped push animation and the cartoon industry as well. A lot of people have been led to believe that Ren and Stimpy were more than just friends, seeing as Stimpy always seemed to dress as a woman, especially in the evening time. Whenever you'd see him come to bed, he had curlers in his hair, as well as wearing like a pink robe and bunny slippers and stuff like that.
Right, which also could have played off of his kind of childlike wonder in his outlook on life, whereas Ren was more realistic and just was more ingrained with material things, and that's basically what his character was like. He was more concerned with gaining wealth and power, and Stimpy was more about having fun and making sure Ren was having a fun time with him.
Oh, and that brings up the point, the show got kind of scary at times. I mean, Ren really seemed like he was an abusive, like, alcoholic husband.
That's right.
At times. For a kid show, that's a little much, and that's why I think it was also, like a lot of these cartoons we've talked about, it was also aimed at adults.
Mm-hmm. That was the problem that Nickelodeon had with Ren and Stimpy, and which ultimately caused its demise, was all of the, pushing the bar cartoon violence. And actually, one of the most infamous episodes from Ren and Stimpy was Stimpy's invention, where he creates a joy helmet for Ren to wear, which basically robs him of all consciousness and makes him just this grinning idiot. And the entire episode is focused on this and this alone, while Stimpy puts on his favorite record, Happy Happy Joy Joy, which is sung by a character called Stinky Whizzleteeth, but it is in fact a parody of well-known singer Burl Ives. And actually the lyrics to the song are completely zany and weird, and I think one of them I have right here is, I'll teach your grandmother to suck eggs. But anyways, the entire episode is just filled with, like, Ren's, like unconscious but also consciousness as he is aware of everything that's happening, and just all this rage boiling up inside of him, and just all of the animation they did for this is just so violent and strange that Nickelodeon had to take so many cuts from this one episode to actually get it to air. And that was basically the life of Ren and Stimpy, that they would send them an episode, and that Nickelodeon would have to have them, like, cut up the entire episode for it to be allowed for children, because a lot of the images were either deemed too scary or too violent.
Or too sexual. That is why they moved to, what is it now, Spike TV? Is that what
they did, yes. In fact, in 2003, the original creator, John Kay, moved the Ren and Stimpy show onto Spike TV, except it was called Ren and Stimpy Adult Party Cartoon. Unfortunately, it only ran for 3 episodes until it was removed from the block due to, they didn't have enough people watching it.
Have you seen those?
I have, and actually the first episode that they aired was the last, and it was actually a banned episode of Ren and Stimpy where it showed Ren beating a character with an oar, from a boat. Yeah. But the next episode after that actually featured full nudity of a female character.
Yes, that was one where they were at the beach.
Right, the beach party episode.
I remember that. I was surprised that was on TV.
Mm-hmm.
I guess since it was after hours, it was that long.
Right, it was around like 11 o'clock at night, and it was Spike TV.
Yeah. Which is a channel geared for them.
Right, I guess so. And another thing that they did with the new episodes they aired on Spike TV was they played on this whole like homosexual relationship between Ren and Stimpy. Like they had jokes where they'd be throwing like a baseball back and forth, and Ren would be like, "Oh, I'm the pitcher and you're the catcher," and Stimpy's like, "Oh, gee whiz," and it's like, "Ha ha ha," but it's all implied and it's very obvious, which is why it would have never worked for Nickelodeon and only for Spike TV.
Well, that's it for this week's show. I'm Paul,
And I'm Matt.
and you've been listening to
Couch Potatoes. Oh,
It's space.